Thinking about moving to Las Vegas and maybe paradise? In this video, we're going to jump into Google Maps and show you everything there is to know about Paradise, the suburb of Paradise here in Las Vegas, what's in it, what's it close to, and what's it got going for it around it. So let's get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel, you want everything there is to know about living in Las Vegas, moving to Las Vegas, and the Las Vegas real estate market, go ahead and hit subscribe, tap that bell for notifications, and you'll be the first in the know for everything that's happening in the Las Vegas area. Hi, my name's Anthony, and I'm a former attorney turned real estate professional who's been here since 1981, so I know a thing or two about the Las Vegas area. And every day, my team and I get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you looking to make their move to Las Vegas, and we absolutely love it. Look, if you're looking to make your move in the next 9 to 90 days, go ahead and give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, or if you want to meet face-to-face, go ahead and book a Zoom down below. It's one of the easiest ways, and I'd be more than happy to make your move go as smooth as possible. So as I said, we're going to jump into my computer, we're going to go on Google Maps, and we're going to take a look at where Paradise is in comparison to everything else. And let me just give you a sneak tip here, or a sneak peek. Paradise is the center of the action. But let's stop talking about it. Let's jump into my computer and let's get after it. Let's go. Okay, so we are now in my computer and we are going to look at Paradise, all the things that's going on here. So, as you can see right here, we have Paradise, and it's really like two distinct areas. And it is this square rectangle here and this little finger that hangs out down here. And this encompasses really the heart. If you've come to Las Vegas as a tourist, you've probably, in all likelihood, never left the suburb of Paradise. This is the heart of what people consider Las Vegas in general, especially if they're not from here. So as we've talked about before, Las Vegas in general is very small. It's only about 28 miles north to south and about 26 to 28 miles, depending on where you're measuring to, east to west. So we fit a lot in kind of a small geographical area. But if we get even farther close, or even closer in that, we'll see that everything that you're thinking about doing here in Las Vegas from a tourist point of view happens in Paradise. Let's start out with where you land in your airplane. That is right here. That is the Harry Reid International Airport, better known as McCarran. It just changed its name to Harry Reid just a short time ago. In addition to that, we have the Strip. Now, the Strip actually encompasses two parts of Las Vegas here, but the majority is in Paradise. It goes from the beginning of the Strip, like the Mandalay Bay, the Luxor, that area, and it goes all the way to the Wynn, the Encore, and the Fashion Show. So this whole area, I mean, that is really the heart of the Strip. Up here, you've got other hotels. You've got Circus, you've got the Stratosphere, and you have a few other hotels along the way. Resort World is not in Paradise, but come on, you're like less than a block away. We'll consider it still part of Paradise. Big part of the Strip is right here in Paradise. Now, there's one other big thing here in Paradise, and that is UNLV. Now, UNLV is a fantastic university. We have our own med school now. We have a law school. We have all the professions right here at UNLV. It's also great for if you're going into the hospitality or want to go into hospitality management. Probably one of the best hospitality schools in the entire world. But that is just one more thing. So we got the airport, the Strip, and UNLV all right here in Paradise. You cannot get closer than that. And if you work on the Strip, you go to or work at UNLV, or you work at the airport, hey, you can't do much better than living here in Paradise as far as being close to your job. So let's take a look at the rest of it, okay? So as we've talked about, Las Vegas is very easy to get around. There's 3 main freeways that you need to know about, and that is, first of all, the 215 we call the Beltway, and that takes you in a square basically around the entire area. All right, and it goes from the 95 in Henderson, the 95 515 in Henderson, and takes you in that square all the way around to the 15 up past North Las Vegas here near the Speedway. So that is one easy way to get around without having to go through all the traffic and side streets on the interior. Now, if you're coming in from California, obviously you know the 15. And the 15 comes right up here through the middle of the city and then bends a little bit out towards North Las Vegas and on its way to Utah and areas out there. Really easy there. Then your last one that you have here is the 95. So the 95, 93 takes you all the way through this way and cuts across and goes all the way into Henderson. So it's the 95, 93, and the 515. They all have a little splinter, but basically the 95 is the big one. The 95 going north up here is how you would get to Mount Charleston, or to go up to Reno and drive through the middle of the state. The 95 would take you there. Now, where all of these meet here in the middle, okay, this is where the 95, the 15, the 515, this is where everything meets. This is called the Spaghetti Bowl. And this is where you do get a little bit of traffic. This is where Fremont Street is, right up here, or downtown. Remember, downtown and the Strip are 2 different areas. So this is downtown where the Spaghetti Bowl is. The Strip is along this 90 or this 15. And again, if you're going to get traffic on the freeways, it's going to be in this area. Look, 40 plus million people a year come to play in this 3.5 mile by 1 mile strip here in Las Vegas. It's where we have conventions. It's where the casinos are, where all the fun stuff to do is, which is right in your backyard if you're in Paradise. And that is where it all is. So what does that mean for you? Well, if you're going to get on the 15, you're going to have a little bit of traffic. But it's easy to get anywhere in this city. You can get from here all the way over here, all the way across the city, from here all the way here in under a half hour, pretty much any time of the day. Our worst day of traffic is probably comparable to your best day of traffic where you're coming from. So we call it traffic, but it's more of just a nuisance. It's very easy to get around anywhere you want to go to here in Las Vegas. As we talked about and you saw when we did our drive through the neighborhood and we talked about the pros and cons of Paradise, because it is so close to the Strip, it was one of the first areas built up here. So if you look, everything started in this little area and it grew outwards and outwards and outwards. So what you're going to find is most of the homes here in the Paradise area, especially in this top rectangle part, are going to be a little bit more mature homes. You're going to find that most of them were built from the mid 60s through the late 90s. So you get a little bit of that. However, what we found is that they're all being renovated. A lot of people have come in and this whole area still is being revitalized even to this day. But you will find that the bones of the house are probably going to be a little bit more mature. Now, there's some areas like this Silverado Ranch here down in the southern area. This are more new building area. So you'll find a little bit newer houses, probably late 90s, mid 90s into the early 2000s. That's when this area has built up. So you're still close to everything. Now, just in reference, so this is a street called St. Rose, okay? St. Rose used to be called Lake Mead. So St. Rose is basically the dividing line between Henderson. So this whole area that you see on the other side of Paradise, for the most part, is Henderson, which is its own city, different than Paradise, different than the city of Las Vegas or the city of North Las Vegas. So you will find that a lot of this, especially when you're riding around these areas, are a little bit newer developments. As you get closer to the center, to where the strip is, you're going to find that they are a little bit more mature neighborhoods. Nothing wrong with that. They're fantastic neighborhoods. Like I said, a lot of the houses have been upgraded continuously. You know, one of the things that we get a lot of questions about is, since you are so close to the strip in Paradise, what about Airbnbs or investment properties that you can use on Airbnb and Vrbo? Just last legislative session, the state passed a set of laws trying to bring some order to our Airbnb. Because let me tell you, the casinos and everybody around the strip, Airbnb is not their friend. However, we do have a lot of Airbnb. So the most recent law that they passed was try and bring a set of guidelines and a set of standards. Now, that being said, because the university is right here, we also get a lot of investors who like to purchase a lot of these homes around the university area as well to use as long-term rentals. In most cases, that's pretty okay to do. But if you're coming here to move and want to live here yourself, look, it is still a fantastic area to go. One of the other things is, because it's a more mature area, you are going to find a lot more mixed use neighborhoods. You don't have that master plan feel of a Summerlin or certain parts of Henderson or even Centennial Hills, where everything is kind of homogeneous. So let's talk about where Paradise is in comparison to the sports venues. Well, you got three of the biggest ones literally in your yard. So this is T-Mobile Arena, where our Vegas Golden Knights play. This is Allegiant Stadium, where the Raiders play. This is the Thomas and Mack, where our UNLV Rebels. This is the university arena. And besides our couple of pro sports teams, and we have tons of concerts, tons of events at UNLV, at Thomas and Mack. They do rodeos a lot there. I am super excited about this. So now it's not in Paradise, but it touches Paradise, okay? So right here along the 15 between a street called Warm Springs and Blue Diamond, okay? So there's a big piece of property here. And they just announced the intention to build a $3 billion sports complex and arena here. Now, it's going to be a little bit smaller. It's definitely not going to be as big as Allegiant. I think they're talking in the 15 to 20,000 seat arena. But on top of that, they have retail. They have some commercial there. It's an entire sports complex. What they're betting on and why they're building this. First of all, they think they can make it work no matter what. But what they're trying to do is to get an NBA team. We already have an NHL team, hockey. We have a pro football team, an NFL team. We have what's supposed to be coming. The Oakland A's are going to become the Las Vegas A's. That's what's supposed to be happening. And now we're building this $3 billion sports complex right here. I mean, it's all literally right here. My thought is, we've already got the Oakland Raiders. We've already pretty much locked up the Oakland A's. Are we going to get the Golden State Warriors? Maybe the Sacramento Kings? I don't know. But they're building and they're betting on something. And the NBA is what they're betting on. What team it is, Is it a Vegas-born team? Is it a transplant team? We'll find out. We'll see how this saga unfolds. But I will tell you that all of the renderings for this new complex are absolutely amazing. And it's just going to provide even more just amazing entertainment to what is already this entertainment corridor. I mean, look, they call Vegas the entertainment capital of the world. And then you throw on NHL, NFL, and NBA. I don't know. I think you've got it going on. And then you throw on that the national bull riding finals, the national rodeo finals, and we got a lot of cool stuff here. And it is all right here in Paradise. Also a great place to live. This growth and this awesomeness is right here in Paradise. Now, let's talk about where you shop and how you do that. Look, there are probably 4 targets. Let's see if we can see if we just look. Well, there's one right there, but there are a number of targets. So you got 3 targets at least in Paradise. There's a Sam's Club. There's actually, well, it's a little more downtown, but there's a Costco here. And then they built a new Costco right along St. Rose. So right along the border, right over here, there's another Costco. You got your Costcos. Then if you want malls, so right here is the fashion show. If you've come here as a tourist, you know the fashion show. It's right on the strip. Right here, we have Town Square. This is our outdoor mall that services the strip. Very cool, very chic. Got an AMC, Brio, which is an Italian place, a Kabuki, Texas de Brazil, a Bonefish, tons of good eating, lots of good shopping, even better, lots just to go and stroll around. And then here, right in Paradise as well, you have the Las Vegas South Premium Outlets, and this is right next to the airport. It is on Las Vegas Boulevard. It is on the strip. There is a ton of dining in there. It's an indoor outlet mall. It's amazing. And if you have to go out of Paradise, you can come right here to the Premium Outlets North, which is on the top end of the strip. That's our outdoor outlet mall. Then this one is actually cool. This used to be a very popular mall, the Boulevard Mall. And this is in Paradise right off of Maryland Parkway. Maryland Parkway running through Paradise is another very important street where there's tons of commercial, tons of restaurants. But the Boulevard Mall was a traditional mall. In the mid-2000s, it kind of went defunct. They came over, an investor and developer came over, and they turned it into a really cool entertainment facility. So yes, there is shopping still inside of the Boulevard Mall, but in addition to that, there's a giant aquarium that is a ton of fun. There's just a lot of things to do, and they revitalized the Boulevard Mall and made it kind of a really cool place to go. Now, if you want to go to some of the other shopping in the area, there's 2 big ones that you would go to. So, and coming up, a third. So this is downtown Summerlin. And if you've watched any of my videos on Summerlin, look, I talk about downtown Summerlin all the time. It is a ginormous outdoor mall. It's got all the retailers that you can think of. Right next to it is the Las Vegas Ballpark, which is where our minor league baseball team currently plays. They also do Enchant Christmas there, which is pretty awesome. They do all kinds of other events there and some other sports there. Right next to that is City National Arena, which is where our Vegas Golden Knights practice. And you can go watch their practices. Very cool. There's also the Red Rock Casino there, which is a fantastic resort. It's one of the upscale station casinos. There's the Red Rock in Summerlin. There's Green Valley Ranch, which is over in Henderson. And then they are just broke ground on a new one, the Durango, which is in the southern Summerlin area. So some really good local casinos. But you've got the Strip if you live in Paradise. That may be the place to go, but this is another option. Downtown Summerlin, very cool, very easy to get to. Again, you could go one of a couple ways. You can take the side streets. You can take like a Spring Mountain up here, or a Sahara if you come up to Sahara and just ride Sahara all the way into the mall parking lot. Or you can, depending on where you live, you can jump on the 215 and just ride it around and literally be at Downtown Summerlin in 15 minutes. As well, over here, this is the Galleria Mall. This is in Henderson, and this is what you would consider a traditional mall. This has got close to 1 million square feet of retail inside, a lot of dining, a lot of things going on there. It's also right across from Sunset Station Casino, which is another good station casino here. But again, to get there, very simple. You would take a Russell or a Sunset, and you would just come straight into it. Very simple, very easy to get to. Again, in Las Vegas, you are never more than 20 to 30 minutes away from anything, regardless of how far away it is. Everything is very close in proximity and easy to get to. It's not very complicated. We're laid out in primarily a grid, so it makes it easy to figure out your way. You just need to know a couple big streets, and then you can kind of navigate and fish your way through to get just about anywhere. There's only a couple of freeways that you need to know. Again, very simple. Once you understand and look at the map and see where they are, everything is very easy to get to. But Paradise, you know, it's pretty awesome. It's got a lot of things going for it. I think it's a great place to live. It's a great investor-friendly area as well. There's a lot going on. Again, we can talk about that, see what your situation is. All my information's down below. We can get through that and figure out if Paradise is someplace we should be looking for you. So I think that kind of gives you a good overview just based on the map of Paradise, the center of it all, and it really does live up to its name in a lot of respects. So let's end it for here, and I hope to see you in the neighborhood. If not, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.